Have you ever heard of a creature so bizarre, so terrifying, that it haunts the swamps of South Carolina to this day? We read diving deep into the murky waters of scape or swamp to uncover the legend of the lizard man. It all started on a hot summer night in 1988. A 17-year-old named Christopher Davis was driving home around 2 a.m. after a long shift at McDonald's. His route took him right past the infamous scape or swamp, a place already steeped in local folklore. Suddenly, a flat tire forced him to pull over. As he was finishing up the tire change, he heard a noise from the darkness behind him. He turned around and saw something that would change his life forever. There, in the glow of his car's interior light, stood a creature straight out of a nightmare. It was over 7 feet tall, bipedal, with green, scaly skin and glowing red eyes. It had 3 long, clawed fingers on each hand and 3 toes on each foot. Chris, terrified, jumped back into his car and tried to speed away. But the creature was fast. It leaped onto the roof of his car, its claws scraping against the metal as it clung on. Chris swerved wildly, trying to shake it off, and eventually, the creature tumbled to the ground. He floored it, not looking back until he was safely home. When he finally got home, shaken and hysterical, his parents saw the state he was in and the condition of the car. The side view mirror was mangled and the roof was covered in deep scratches and dents. They knew something serious had happened. The next day, his father took him to the Lee County Sheriff's Office. Initially, Sheriff Liston Truesdale was skeptical. A giant lizard creature? It sounded like a teenage prank. But then, he saw Chris Davis. The young man was genuinely terrified, and he even passed a lie detector test. And then there was the car. The damage was undeniable and strange. Scratches weren't consistent with any known animal. The story hit the local news, and it exploded. Suddenly, the lizard man of scape or swamp was a sensation. And Chris Davis wasn't alone for long. More sightings started pouring in. People reported seeing a similar creature crossing roads, lurking near the swamp, and even attacking their vehicles. One couple, Tom and Mary Way, claimed the creature had mauled the front of their car, leaving behind bite marks and torn metal. Another local man, George Holloman Jr., reported that his water pump had been chewed on, with strange saliva and hair-like fibers left behind. The local authorities took it seriously enough to investigate. They found strange 3-toed footprints near the swamp, about 14 inches long. Plaster casts were made, but biologists couldn't identify them. They didn't match any known animal, reptile, or primate. The footprints seemed to confirm that something very large and very unusual was prowling the swamps of Lee County. The town of Bishopville became the epicenter of a media frenzy. Reporters from all over the country descended on this small South Carolina community. T-shirts were printed, songs were written, and a local radio station even offered a $1 million bounty for the creature's capture, dead or alive. The lizard man had become a full-blown cultural phenomenon. So what exactly is the lizard man? Theories abound. The most straightforward explanation is that it was all a hoax, or a series of misidentifications. Skeptics suggest that people were simply seeing a large black bear, perhaps standing on its hind legs, distorted by fear and the darkness of the swamp. Bears can and do damage cars, and their claws could create scratches. But what about the 3-toed footprints and the glowing red eyes? Bears have 5 toes, and their eyes don't glow red. Another theory points to a known animal, but a more exotic one. Could it have been an escaped primate, like a baboon or a chimpanzee, from a private collection or a research facility? While possible, a 7-foot-tall primate with scaly green skin seems unlikely. Some have even suggested it could be a descendant of a dinosaur, a surviving raptor that adapted to the swamp environment over millions of years. This is a favorite among cryptozoology enthusiasts, but it lacks any real scientific evidence. Then there's the more supernatural or extraterrestrial explanation. Some believe the lizard man isn't a creature of this earth at all. They point to the glowing red eyes and its incredible strength as evidence of something otherworldly. Could it be an alien visitor or an interdimensional being that temporarily manifested in our world? This idea pushes the boundaries of belief, but for those who saw it, a monster from another world might make as much sense as anything else. Perhaps the most compelling theory is tied to local legends. Long before 1988, the area around Scape or Swamp had stories of mysterious creatures. The indigenous people of the region had tales of spirit beings that inhabited the swamps. Could the lizard man be a modern interpretation of an ancient legend? A creature from folklore brought to life by a community's collective imagination. After the summer of '88, the sightings died down. For years, the lizard man was little more than a memory, a quirky piece of local history. But the legend never truly went away. Then, in the 2000s, it resurfaced. In 2008, a couple reported that their car had been attacked again, with blood and strange markings left on the vehicle. In 2015, a woman leaving church in Bishopville claimed to have seen the lizard man run across the road in front of her. She even snapped a blurry photo on her phone, which reignited the debate. A few days later, a young man shot a video near the swamp, showing a dark figure moving through the trees. The video was shaky and inconclusive, but for believers, it was proof that the lizard man was back. Today, Bishopville, South Carolina, has embraced its famous monster. It's a point of pride and a tourist attraction. There's a Lizard Man Festival, and you can find merchandise all over town. But for the people who live near the swamp, it's more than just a story. It's a reminder of that terrifying summer when something unknown lurked in the darkness. Was it a bear, or hoax, an alien, or a genuine, undiscovered cryptid? The evidence is tantalizing, but ultimately inconclusive. The scratches on the cars were real. The footprints were real. The fear in Christopher Davis's eyes was real. But the creature itself remains a mystery, a shadow that flits at the edge of our understanding. The legend of the lizard man endures because it speaks to our primal fear of the unknown, the idea that just beyond the safety of our porch lights, monsters might still exist. What do you think? Have you ever had a strange encounter you couldn't explain? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this dive into the unknown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more mysterious legends. See you next time.